Good evening, folks. Good evening. Aaron and Alex Dorr here with Georgia Gun Owners. Guys, we know it's Monday at 5:30. You're probably just trying to, beat the traffic, stuck in the traffic, trying to get home for the day. But we have an update for you that you've got to see about our fight to pass constitutional carry law. And we're going to pause here for a few moments, as we'd like to do, let the crowd build up for just a moment, let you guys have a chance to make some comments in the comment section. If you can hear us okay. If you can't hear Alex, that's okay. He's not talking right now.
Not worth hearing. That's not true. This is probably almost as important. If you're coming up I-85, watch out around exit 111. There was a semi on fire there about an hour and a half ago.
There's always a semi on fire there. What's the difference?
No, you're thinking about downtown.
All right, guys. So here's what's going on. We are officially in what we refer to as slow roll season in the 2022 legislative session. We have 8 business days left on the calendar here in Atlanta to pass constitutional carry. We have 8 days left. They adjourn the 31st, sine die. That's it. We're done. Window is closed. Despite that, we still have the biggest problem we have right now still is Speaker David Ralston. I swear to gosh, you got a photograph of him somewhere. Big old David. Surely we didn't dump our photograph of David. It's gone. David Ralston, who is refusing to convene even a basic public safety committee hearing on Senate Bill 319. Folks, if you're low on time today, if you can't listen to our whole broadcast, whatever else you do, we have information above the video right now, posted right there for you guys to fire off an email and make your phone calls, more importantly, to all of the members of the House Public Safety Committee. If you're low on time, if that's all you can do, take a few moments, hit that link, and start making phone calls to every member of the Public Safety Committee.
Listen, folks, there are 16 Republicans on this Public Safety Committee and only 4 Democrats. There's no question here that the votes don't exist to move this through the Public Safety Committee in a matter of minutes. Bing, bang, boom, done. It's not a problem. But they are intentionally slow rolling the Senate Bill 319 only because Ralston wants to jam us up. But listen, as you all are looking through this name, you're going to be looking for your representative. It's possible yours isn't on that list, but you have to remember that right now, these Republicans on this Public Safety Committee, they represent you. They represent constitutional carry because they're the ones that are the roadblock, the chokehold on this bill right now. So don't not call because you don't see your representative. Call them all. There is equal opportunity offending going on here.
Hey, guys, this is what's going to happen right now. Either we're going to break through this log jam, which I think we can with enough pressure, or number 2, as we get towards the last day of session, this happens all the time. In fact, I was talking to our former director, Patrick Parsons, just a little bit ago, and he said, in all my years working for GGO, I never saw a gun bill pass except for the last day of session when that gave the most amount of leverage to David Ralston to try to weaken the bill down. And that is exactly the concern we have here right now today. Ralston has a weaker form of constitutional carry. We all know that. And so if he gets to slow roll this, when we get down to the wire, the Senate may feel like they have no choice but to concede and give David Ralston what he wants, which is to pass their version of this bill. It's one last screw you. It's one last middle finger to gun owners, to the members of Georgia gun owners who've been lighting a fire under this guy's considerable backside for a very long time. So I got a photograph right here somewhere. And guys, so that's why it's important to just crush the Public Safety Committee with phone calls right now. Look at the arrogance in this man's face. Look at that arrogant bastard. And you tell me if anybody watching thinks that this guy is trying to do the right thing for gun owners. This guy only knows how to do one thing: fight to preserve and expand his power base here in Atlanta. So don't give him any slack at all. Contact this committee right away and tell them to stop slow rolling SB-319. I'm just going to ask you as a personal favor to me, because earlier today, I had the occasion to speak with Public Safety Chairman Jay Collins. Yep. Sometimes he can be a nice guy. Sometimes I can be a nice guy too. But I talked to him. I was like, Jay, what are you doing with SB-319? Why are you not having the damn bill in your committee? Why isn't it being heard? You guys have had this now for almost a month.
Yep.
What are you doing? And he's like, well, son, we're probably going to have a hearing on this on Thursday, maybe on Monday. We'll get around to it. And I was like, who do you think you're talking to, son? GGO members want this done now. It's almost time for adjournment. We want you to finish this fight. Stop slow rolling the bill. And guys, he is refusing to even tell us when he's going to have a committee, maybe on Thursday, maybe on Monday. I don't know what time. He says, you know what? He says, if y'all just keep an eye on the website, you'll find out when we're going to have that committee. I was like, Sonny, you have no idea who you're talking to, because I represent Georgia gun owners, and these people will tear you apart if you do not do your job and have this bill up in committee immediately. So, folks, these guys got an ego complex a mile wide, and they've got to hear from you right away. We are this close. We are this close to finishing this fight. The Senate, you don't hear a lot of compliments from Georgia gun owners on politicians, but I'm going to give one. The Senate has done their job. I mean, sure, we had to whack some of their asses with a boat paddle. Here's my favorite photograph. We had to whack this guy's boat with a boat paddle, but, the Senate did their job. Jason Anabatarte did his job. Brian Strickland has done his job. These guys got the bill, got it filed, our language, 31 co-sponsors, 2 committees, Senate floor done before David Ralston ever even drafted the bill. So the Senate has done their job. This guy here, the arrogance in those jowls right there, that's the problem. That's the problem. And so he is letting the Public Safety Committee tank this bill right now, and they have got to hear from you immediately. Alex, we discussed this just a little bit ago before we went live. The risk here, again, is harmful amendments that Ralston may be in a position to, quote unquote, force the Senate to adopt. And you dealt with this just a couple of weeks ago in Montgomery, Alabama, on behalf of our organization there, where they ran some terrible amendments. There's a lot of things that could happen yet before we adjourn, sine die.
They can absolutely sabotage this. Just remember that, Senate Bill 319 could go to the House floor, and if Ralston just decides to just completely screw over the Senate and their bill and their work, he can absolutely have amendments run on it. We've seen it happen in Alabama. We've seen it happen in all sorts of different states where duty to notify the police. If you're pulled over, you must tell the police what right you are exercising. That sounds like crap to me. There's like innocent or guilty until proven innocent. They'll take your gun from you while they investigate you to see if you're a lawful weapons owner or if you're in the commission of a crime. These are the type of crap that they can put on these bills at the last second. And the idea is to wait until the last possible moment, and then they pile all that crap on because they're like, you guys aren't going to go home with nothing, so you're going to take what we give you, and it's got all this crap added to it. And it's political tactics 101. We've seen them do it a dozen times. So now is the time we need to be just absolutely louder than ever and say, pass it and pass it clean, because by God, the primaries are coming, and we know it.
Hey guys, we've been waiting for 10 years for this. We all have been involved in this fight for 10 years, and we have all these people who are sitting here telling us how pro-gun they are, assuring us how pro-gun they are, and yet we're sitting here right now, and SB-319 hasn't even had a committee hearing in the House right now in public safety. So you got to contact this committee immediately and pour the heat on them. What's that, Alex?
Just last week, we all saw the Kemp signed the Georgia tax, removed the Georgia tax on fuel for the state of Georgia, 29 cents a gallon. Okay. These high prices have only been around. Well, they've been around since Biden was elected, but we saw in less than 10 days, the House and the Senate and the governor all pick up this bill out of nowhere, pass it through all chambers and committees and chambers, and signed into law in less than 10 days. If they truly cared about constitutional carry, when the session called in on January 10th, this should have been done on January 21st. That's how fast they could have done this, but they are waiting until the last possible moment. It's disgusting.
And folks, you're not going to hear this. I mean, you're not going to get, you're never going to have Georgia's 6-way, 2-way, 1-way carry organization daring to make the Republicans mad at us. You're not going to hear this in the NRA. These people are content to sit there and just fiddle while Rome burns. And the last day, if the bill dies, they'll say, oops, well, we'll try again next year.
Not enough time.
Or if they say the bill got watered down severely, they'll say, oh, well, it's the best thing we could do. This is freaking Georgia. We have a super majority. We have control of this chamber. We, as in the Republicans, they can do anything they want. You just heard from Alex how fast they moved the gas tax repeal for the time being with Biden's out of control gas taxes. They have the power. They have the votes. The only question now is, will David Ralston have his way one more time trying to screw over gun owners or not? That's all this comes down to right now. And so it's important, again, that you remind the Public Safety Committee that David Ralston may be your daddy, but you're the ones who are going to be the ones paying the price for this. Now, don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
We're going to get to David Ralston very shortly. People are asking us in the comment section, do you have David Ralston's cell phone number? All I can tell you is that we are very close to ascertaining that number. And when that time comes, we will absolutely give it to everybody here in GGO Nation and ask you guys to contact them. But there is no reason for these delays. The only reason is that this guy wants to put us in a box so he has more ability to run amendments on the bill at the last moment. One of the questions in the comment section I've seen multiple times, let me pull up this question here. What is the difference, asked Ken, between the House and Senate bills? It's a good question, Ken. So right now the bills are very close. They're very close, and we will accept either one of them when it comes to finishing the fight over constitutional carry. But SB-319 has a better definition of a lawful weapons carrier. And because of that, it applies to and it covers more citizens, more law-abiding citizens here in Georgia. And so for that reason, and there's some nuances there, I won't get down that conversation right now today, but SB-319 has a better definition of lawful weapons carrier, and it covers more people. Because what Manny Ballinger did in the House and what Speaker Ralston did in the House is they talk like it's constitutional carry, and functionally it is. But the whole idea of their version is if you meet our criteria, then you can constitutionally carry. Whereas the whole idea behind constitutional carry is that we're getting the government out of the business of telling us how we can exercise these rights. And so the House has inverted this whole idea, and they say, if you meet these criteria here, and here, then you can constitutionally carry. Whereas SB 319 says, if you're not a criminal, that's it. You can carry.
Done.
It's just that simple.
Well, folks, the link's above. Click it. I know it's after 5 o'clock. It's almost 6 o'clock. That link will be around all day tomorrow. We'll keep putting it out there. We're going to email it out to everybody. But starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, when that first intern walks in and sits out that desk, light up every one of those phone lines. And guess what? You don't only have to call them once. Okay? It's not a one and done. You can call them and call them an hour later and say, hey, have you done it yet? Hey, have you done it yet? But you can also send that link out to everybody. Share it on your Facebook pages. Email it out to everyone you know. Text it out to all your buddies. If you're like me, you go to the range with at least 2 or 3 guys every single weekend. You know them. You got them. Send them the number. Tell them start calling right now. This is it. We are down to the wire. We have 8 business or legislative days left. Thursday of next week. If this bill isn't passed out of the House on its way to Kemp's desk, we got to start back over again, and we are not going to do that.
But I just want to be clear on one thing that you mentioned, Alex. I mean, folks, you don't have to wait till tomorrow. They have voicemail at the Capitol. Number one. Number two. Yep. Number two, I'll just phrase it like this. The reason why our link is on Telegram versus on Facebook is that some of the numbers that we have there are perhaps not the numbers that some of these politicians would like to have out in the public domain. And so you might very likely find yourself talking to the state rep, on his phone, on his cell phone. You can call him, you can text him. So you don't have to wait till tomorrow. Call tonight, call tomorrow, call the next day. Put the pressure on, remind these arrogant people that they work for us and that we expect them to finish this fight this session. Because, again, as you heard from Alex, if we don't, then we have to start all over again next year. And frankly, that's assuming that Brian Kemp is the governor. If he's not, then we're screwed. Or David Perdue. If they're not, we're screwed. No window there. And if Brian Kemp is the governor in January, he's going to have about this much interest in trying to pass this bill, because as everybody here in the comment section is saying, this is only happening because Brian Kemp is scared out of his freaking mind that he has not kept his campaign promise from 2018, and he needs to deliver a win. So it's about that simple. Guys, I see a lot of people in the comment section here. I see Ray Blankenship, longtime GGO supporter, Dave Cummings. We got Hardy Strong Bear Taylor, Terry Archer, some of you people who have been involved in this fight for a long time. I'm just going to say it. We're this close. We're this close, folks. We're this close. We cannot let up at all between now and then. It's been a long weekend. These guys have kind of got the impression that, you know, they have this on overdrive, on autopilot. Burn their phones down. Burn their phones down. Tell them what you expect. And we're going to have more videos very often in the next couple of days. And we're going to have some more information with David Ralston as well in the very, very near future for gun owners. So a lot of information, guys. The bottom line is there's a link right there. Hit that link. Contact that committee. Call the entire list of Republicans on that committee and tell them you better, by God, move Senate Bill 319 out of your public safety committee and onto the House floor immediately. And until you do, you're going to get all the beatings that GGO Nation can produce. So, guys, that's it. That's what we have for you right now. Make those phone calls. Be relentless. You can hound them on Facebook. You can hound them in the Capitol. Whatever you do, be relentless. Be relentless. Tireless in your fight for freedom. We're this close. Don't give up. All right, guys. That's all we have time for right now. Take action. We'll keep you guys informed. And we love you all. Keep the pressure on.
Thank you.